Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Coming up here in a few weeks time, we are going to see our next significant update here in Warzone in Black Ops 6, and that of course is Season 2. Now, in the weeks leading up to the launch of Season 2 here towards the end of the month, it's very possible that we see some other major updates go live. Quite frankly, I am hoping and praying that we see some other major updates go live. Otherwise, it's going to be a rough few weeks to end Season 1. But that said, we already have some details on what to expect with these Season 2 updates. Some ideally good news, which Call of Duty desperately needs right now. But also, it's kind of strange because in comparison to other seasonal updates in recent years, there's also a lot of information we're currently missing. Typically at this point in time, as we are winding down on any given season, we have a lot of leaks and rumors for that next major seasonal update. And while we do have some of those today, it's definitely not to the same extent that we've seen in seasons prior. So something kind of interesting there. Perhaps in the coming weeks when we do see some larger updates, there's going to be even more leaks and rumors that surface. And of course, if that's the case, you guys know this is the best place to be to stay up to date with everything going on in COD. So if you want to make sure you're always in the loop for all things going on, be sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on those post notifications. And if you enjoy this video as we dive into all the current known or leaked Season 2 details, a like rating would be seriously appreciated as well. So first things first, when exactly is Season 2? And quite frankly, this is a weird time frame that we're discussing here, because typically with Black Ops 6 thus far, all of the major updates have happened on Thursdays or Fridays for the most part, right? Thursday has sort of been that main update day, if you will. We've seen that day change a lot over the course of the years, but every major update that we've seen so far for the most part has dropped on a Thursday. However, if you were to pay attention to the Squid Game LTM countdown, that comes to a close on Friday the 24th, I believe it is. And usually these final main events of any given season go until the very end of the season. So that has some people thinking, well, maybe it's possible the season goes live on the 24th. However, the Battle Pass countdown timer, which typically is always what we go off of for when the new season's gonna drop, expires on January 28th. Which is a Tuesday, so weird timing across the board there. But basically, the end of January, that final week of January, is when Season 2 should be going live. And with it, we're going to see a lot of updates. Of course, this is a seasonal update, so there's going to be a lot of standard stuff across the board that will sort of detail from the top down. There are some specifics, though, that we know of thus far. Let's go mode to mode, though, and talk about some of those specifics, starting first with multiplayer. We have some general details here. Obviously, multiplayer is going to see the basics like new modes, new LTMs across the board that happens every single season. The main content draw for multiplayer specifically, though, is going to be those new maps. And Treyarch has detailed, although rather ambiguously, some things about what to expect season over season. Not necessarily directly for Season 2, but every single season for the remainder of Black Ops 6, with mostly brand new 6v6 maps and 2v2 maps in some cases, as the Strike playlist is still going to be there, of course, but then also some remasters as well. So of course, Season 2 is going to include probably anywhere from 3 to 5 map updates for multiplayer. And we already have some leaks for some potential remaster maps like Launch. The devs have talked about wanting to bring back some other classic maps like Fringe and whatnot from previous Black Ops titles. So those are a few that could certainly happen here in Season 2. Not necessarily guaranteed yet, but they have been leaked, have been found in the files, or otherwise discussed previously. But Treyarch did also mention that while they do want to do a lot of classic, fun, remastered maps, predominantly every season, the maps are going to be brand new, designed from the ground up for Black Ops 6. And we know the map system this year is really leaning heavily on small to medium-sized maps, so we should expect more of that here for Season 2 in multiplayer. If you're a fan of Ground War or those large-scale map and mode playlists, unfortunately, it just does not seem like it's going to be a thing this year, at least as of now. There were some early leaks about Combined Arms or Fire Team potentially returning, and that could happen. I'd love for it to, but as of now, no direct indications anything like that could be happening for Season 2. Zombies, unfortunately, is where we definitely have the least amount of info here. That could change in the coming weeks, and again, of course, if it does, I'll be sure to keep you guys in the loop. But Treyarch did say that not necessarily every single season this year is going to include a new map. So while we did just see Citadel Daymore drop with Season 1 Reloaded, Season 2 I feel like almost is guaranteed to not have a new Zombies map if they're not planning on doing one every single season. unless they're like seriously front loading content for this year, which I wouldn't expect them to do. Zombies is definitely going to see new updates across the board with season 2, but we actually surprisingly don't really have any major details on DLC 2, what the next map could be or when that could be happening. Could be season 2 reloaded, could be something we have to wait for until season 3, even later on down the road, but hopefully we do get some more promising updates there. Zombies, I think, has really been the one bright spot so far post season 1, where the rest of the game between multiplayer and Warzone has been just real buggy, real problematic. Zombies, for the most part, has been a nice little escape from all of that mess and been a pretty fun mode to mess around in this year. So definitely looking forward to whatever comes with season 2, but as of now, just really not many details. We do have some more broad updates though across the board, but we don't have many specifics for Warzone either as of now. We have a lot of updates that have been guaranteed or confirmed that are going to span across multiplayer, zombies, and Warzone alike. One of those being a very important one, actual new, and in their own words, major anti-cheat updates to the kernel level driver and server side protections. So this is something we've been asking for years now, and Call of Duty did put out that blog a few weeks back saying for season 2 and season 3, we are going to have some major anti-cheat updates. Now, in the past, they've also said they were going to do major anti-cheat updates, and those fell short. Hopefully that's not the case here, but it's going to have to be a prove it situation. They've talked and talked and talked about, hey, we're updating this, we're changing that, we're going to do this. And cheating is still an issue as much as it was at any point in Warzone's history and in COD's history. So we've got some new anti-cheat updates confirmed for season 2, but we don't actually know how impactful they're going to be. And I would temper your expectations and again, force them to actually prove it. Don't think it's going to fix everything, because I have my doubts there for sure, but nonetheless, something to be on the lookout for. Of course, season 2, full new season, we're going to see a new battle pass. That's a pretty standard one there. Haven't seen many leaks for this up until this point. However, we do know it's going to be that standard battle pass update. So it'll have those new sectors, new tiers, or whatever you want to refer to them as. And included in those tiers are going to be some of the new free weapons for season 2. And funny enough, all of the weapon leaks that we have up until this point actually haven't come to fruition. So a lot of the weapon leaks that we had prior to season 1 didn't end up happening with season 1, and instead it's possible that we see a lot of this during season 2. It's also possible they have other weapons planned, and some of these are just sort of, safety nets. They'll add them in a future season down the road, but equal chance season 2, equal chance not season 2. There are a bunch of different weapon leaks, though, currently sitting in the files that have been data mined previously, including the FAL marksman rifle. Of course, we have similar functioning weapons in the game right now, but no true FAL. That one, of course, would be a classic one that we've seen in the Black Ops series several times, and just in general, the FAL is always a nice little fan favorite there. So it'd be cool to see that one return here. The SAR-80 is also, or the SAR-80 is also in the files still. Again, there are very similar weapons like the Model L and whatnot, or the Krig, for instance, close to it, but not actually the exact one-to-one. So possible we see another very similar rifle debut here in season 2. The 5.7 pistol is still in the files, and that of course is a Black Ops classic one too. I was in Black Ops 2, for instance, back in the day, and Black Ops 2 is now technically modern times because we're in 2025 now, which is crazy. So possible we see the 5.7 return. Then funny enough, the M72 Law launcher is also leaked in the files. I can't imagine that one's going to get much hype, but it's there currently, and it could be a season 2 weapon as well. More recently, we also saw some very convenient melee weapon leaks that all line up and sort of seem to indicate that we're going to have a new crossover event, because in the files, a skateboard melee weapon, a katana melee weapon, the sai melees, the nunchucks, and the bow staff were all leaked. And if you think about what those weapons are, especially all bunched together, it basically is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles represented in the form of weaponry, right? That's all of their classic main weapons, plus the skateboards, right? So those leaks certainly would indicate that we're going to have some kind of TMNT crossover, and those weapons will be a part of like either some store bundles or some event challenges or something like that. So while melees aren't necessarily the most exciting for a lot of players, could be an interesting crossover event, hopefully done better than the Squid Game one with all the premium access stuff and all the funky stuff going on there. But several interesting weapon leaks in the files right now that could potentially be for season 2. Again, really time is going to tell there, and that's typically how it goes with these seasonal leaks. Because they are leaks, they're not necessarily guaranteed or confirmed. So while they line up with maybe the time frame, it's not necessarily something that is absolutely going to happen until we see it confirmed via, promotional material, a roadmap, a trailer, something like that, right? So take all these leaks with a grain of salt. Obviously, though, the main confirmations coming directly from Call of Duty in the form of the anti-cheat updates and then the standard stuff, new maps and modes for multiplayer, content and gameplay updates for zombies, definitely bug fixes, gameplay updates, some new content, standard stuff there for Warzone as well. So like I said at the start, we're in an interesting situation here with season 2, where typically at this point we'd have a lot more leaks on specific stuff for multiplayer, for zombies, for Warzone, and really the bulk of the leaks just revolve around the weapons and then the idea of remaster maps for multiplayer. So gonna be an interesting few weeks as they do start to reveal things and we get some teasers, we get some promo there. Obviously, I'll be keeping you guys in the know for everything going on in COD, so stick it here for that. Feel free to hit that subscribe button, join us on the road to 1 million, and if you enjoyed the video, a like rating on your way out would be seriously appreciated as well. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.